To Total Health now, not getting a good night's rest can make or break your day, affecting your mood, making you less productive and more prone to making mistakes. These issues can become even worse and influence your health problems with sleeping, if they persist, sleeping issues. Dr. Alexander Campbell from Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center Family Medicine joins us to discuss common sleep problems and tips for how to get a better night's rest. How common is it to have trouble sleeping?
Oh, thank you so much for having me. So, sleeping trouble is relatively something that someone will experience in their life at one point and another. It's mostly tied to things that are sporadic in a person's life, whether it's something that causes them to stay up too late, like new noises or work outside, or changes like a new bed, changes in sleeping environment. But these disturbances mostly temporary and they tend to resolve on their own without persistence. But this really matters because getting too little sleep over a longer period of time can lead to dramatic effects on people's health. And sleep deprivation, meaning getting less than 6 hours of sleep over a chronic period of time, is linked to increased risk of hypertension, which is high blood pressure, diabetes, and really 5 out of the 15 leading causes of death in the United States.
So what is considered adequate sleep?
So in terms of what would be defined as adequate sleep, for the vast majority of adults, it's going to be between 7 and 9 hours, with 7 really being the minimum to promote optimal health.
And so what are some of the typical medical sleep problems? We hear about insomnia. Is that one of the most common?
So insomnia would just be a term for trouble sleeping. I would say that really one of the most common things that we see in primary care is something called sleep apnea. So this would be described typically as loud snoring followed by gasping or snorting while asleep. And this is really important because people with sleep apnea, although they might be unconscious, are not getting adequate rest. So they're not getting that restorative function of sleep. There are other medical problems like insomnia, trouble sleeping, despite having an environment that supports this, but it's relative to something else like general anxiety, where you're laying in bed and you can't fall asleep because you're thinking over and over about what happened during the day. And that worry is preventing people from going to sleep. And there are less common ones, such as narcolepsy, where someone is just plagued by excessive daytime fatigue. And this is something fairly similar to sleep apnea, where they aren't getting adequate rest at night, and it manifests as just collapsing during the day and abruptly falling asleep.
Are there some other factors that can affect our ability to sleep well?
Yeah, so sleep hygiene is very important, and it takes several days to establish a good sleep wake routine, and really only one major disruption to mess it up. So trying to vary your sleep as little as possible, going to bed roughly at the same time and waking up at the same time every morning, is some of the best things people can do. But aside from that, avoiding an excessively cold or hot environment. So the research has shown roughly between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit is the best sleep environment if that's possible. Limiting caffeine consumption in terms of both amount and how late you drink it in the day, so not really after 2 p.m. And although things like alcohol can make people feel drowsy, it actually inhibits good restful sleep, so limiting that as much as possible. Other modifications people can do that would be great are to not look at blue light screens close to bed, as it stops your brain producing the melatonin that helps you fall asleep.
Dr. Campbell, thank you so much for joining us today. I know I cherish my sleep. A lot of our viewers do too, so all these tips are helpful. We appreciate you coming on the show.